will be treated to some goals.
Only one scoreless match for Celta against Real Madrid, and the fans making the trek from Vigo, 300 miles to the southeast from the Atlantic coast to the nation's capital. That only clean sheet for Celta against Real, coming back in '77 in a scoreless draw, and Celta would take it. Second leg next week. Smiles on their faces now as the second half ready to get underway. Ball back to the back line, quickly forward to Redoya. Nice spin from Modric, gets away. Ronaldo. Back to the former Spurs midfielder. Just can't find a way to penetrate. Vasquez has probably been the most effective of the attackers. Nothing really to show for it. Asensio drops Vasquez again. Quick thinking Johnny, the left back, coming all the way across. And if he didn't, it might have been a goal.
Real Madrid on the positive side of things straight out the gates here. I think they really intend to ramp it up second half. Look at Varane in attack position.
Has to flip it back behind his heels, but well defended. Bongonda wanted it back. This could be dangerous with Asensio pressuring. Turnover briefly. Celta still thinking about it too much, and in danger of getting trapped in their own box. Johnny Castro Otto, the left back for Celta Vigo. Chance here for Asensio in a battle with Roncaglia. The Argentine defender lowers the boom, but the referee sees nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this, whether this is play acting or not, and players trying to influence the referee every which way they can. Arms working on both players here, and Asensio just seems to go down there. I didn't see much contact. Oh, it was a kick in the back of the head as he was going down. I didn't see much contact. Defenders will say unintentional. Oh, and his hand as well. Yeah, I think it's dark arts.
Perhaps. Give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he was trying to avoid kicking him in the back of the head in stride. And the touch to the head may be a bit of a stunner, but I think he got crunched on the hand.
Yeah, he did.
When Roncaglia tried to elude him, might have dislocated a finger or maybe worse. And again, credit to the former Boca man. I think he was trying to avoid.
You're talking about an Argentinian defender there. They're as tough as they come. I think that was just a little calling card.
Asensio, and it sounds strange, but footballer being substituted because of an injury to a finger or a hand. But
watch here, back of the head, crunch on the fingers, full weight of the body. Oh, that must have been painful.
I'm sure he'll try and continue, but how much pain can he withstand? They do have Alvaro Morata available on the bench, along with Mariano, the young Dominican by way of Barcelona, and a certain Karim Benzema, who might be playing better than anyone. Marcelo making it interesting. Pass, though, not so much.
You mentioned Benz, you mentioned Morata. I think there's a very good chance you'll be seeing one of those two by about the 65th minute if Real Madrid haven't scored by then.
Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Sisto. You have John Guidetti, the man from Manchester City, and a certain Italo-American, Giuseppe Rossi, who's on loan from Roncaglia's old Fiorentina. Rossi brought over to try and get back on track, to prove there's still something left in the tank after numerous injuries. Has played 10 matches, although only 2 starts, 8 off the bench. And unfortunately for him, just 1 goal to show for it. And that came way back in September. Little pocket of space for Vasquez. Nice run, Danilo. Couldn't hold on to it. Long shot from Ronaldo from long distance, but straight to Sergio.
And they're probing Real Madrid. They're trying to get through, but fair dues to Celta. They've defended well, bodies in front of the ball. They have limited the opportunities so far.
At the moment, short-handed. But it does appear as though Asensio about ready to come back out and give it a try. Ayo. Talked about the players to keep an eye on as Asensio's now reaching back to grab his head, but at least he's doing it with the fingers that were damaged, so well enough. Oh, driven in, easy grab for Kiko.
I think if you're Asensio, you want to play. This is one of the few chances you get to get out in front of the Bernabeu faithful and show what you can do. Ronaldo. I think sore fingers or not, you'll take the chance.
In for Asensio, back for Ronaldo, and just deflected to safety. Again, it was Castro.
They're probing Real Madrid. You get the sense that the breakthrough is going to come at some stage soon.
Varane using his speed. Aspas continues to harass. Now, of these two teams, which do you think goes to the well first?
As in terms of scoring?
In terms of substitutions.
Oh, in terms of substitutions. Well, it depends on who gets injured, but I would say run about, as I say, 60th odd minute, 60 to 65th minute. We will see either Morata. I was trying to get Benzema and Morata in one word there. One of those two, both great strikers, and I somehow feel that CR9 needs to move to CR7 and make some space for either Morata or Benzema.
As far as Celta, obviously there is an opening if you get the chance, but if you do pull a player out, the risk of destroying the chemistry and opening the door for Real Madrid.
Absolutely. I mean, you could be very, very happy so far with the way Celta are playing, but it's so the coach has done a great job in setting them up, getting them to work hard, hunt in packs. But they do have options. Gudetti's a good number 9, big, strong lad that you could build an attack around. But I wouldn't change this unless you've got really tired legs, and maybe that's what's going to happen last 10, 15 minutes. In fact, there you go. Talking of Morata, what did we say? 60th minute? 9 minutes early, Phil.
And Asensio trying to give it a go, but I do think that the injury may be speeding up that substitution a touch. And will that counter a substitution for Celta? Little pressure from Aspas, might not show up in the score sheet, but forces the turnover. It'll be a throw-in for Celta, and it looks as though Real Madrid would like to get the substitution made now. And Asensio's day is done. Does not look happy about it. Not the substitution, just the situation.
Have a look again. Back of the head, and then all the weight on the fingers. Oh, that is painful. You understand him coming off, but I wouldn't want to give up a chance to impress at home. But this man can score. And of course, it pushes Cristiano out to the left, which I think is a better balance for them. So maybe things will improve rapidly from here for Real Madrid fans.
5 goals in league for Alvaro Morata. Scored 2 in the Copa del Rey in just 3 games. Will slip. Opens a channel. Quickly shut down by Roncaglia. Came up as an outside back, more specifically a right back through Boca and early on in his days, but Fiorentina, as is the want in Serie A, plays a 3-back a lot of the time, and as he gets older, comfortably sliding into that central role with Celta. Thinking Redoya. Dangerous ball, but it works. Redoya dispossessed, and Varane pushing forward. Actually, it's Danilo. Kroos picking the pocket of Redoya. Out wide, Vasquez lifting it into the middle. Out comes Sergio. And I don't think Cabral heard him. Heads it away for the corner.
Golden rule, Phil. If you don't hear the keeper, you head it clear. And sometimes even if you hear it, you head it clear, because you just can't take a risk there.
Chance from the corner flag. Real Madrid. third of the match. Does give you an idea. Ball driven into the near post. Voss switched feet and guides it back towards that corner flag.
That's a poor corner. The one job you've got to do is to get it over those blue shirts in the front. He doesn't do it. Let's see if he can do it this time.
When he's out there, takes almost every restart. That's not a shot on goal. Here to Ronaldo, who hung in the air, but the ball didn't get there in time. Sails across, chance for Morata. Back to Modric. Cross again, looking to serve it again. Voss gets it out of danger this time. Smart play from Modric. Casemiro, a lot quieter in the second half than he was in the first. Heard the footsteps. Tries to spin to the inside. Vasquez dispossessed. Now it's Celta trying to get a break going. Voss against Marcelo. And he'll have to settle for the throw-in.
Nicely played, Celta. They're being hunted down so quickly in this second half. A lot sharper. A lot more difficult for Celta to play out. They're getting pinned back. I think Zidane's got them working a lot harder. I'm sure he had some tasty words for them at halftime.
Just to give you an idea of the style if you haven't watched it. Celta trying to blitzkrieg through Real Madrid. Real trying to get wide and cross it in, especially now with Morata in there. 17 crosses and 3 corners. Just 3 crosses throughout the entire match for Celta, and they're still awaiting their first corner kick. The width for Real Madrid. And again, getting back to our players to watch. I think Hugo Mayo has been, at least on the road, focused in defensively. Danilo playing up quite a bit, but maybe he'll get something going here. Keeps it alive for Vasquez. Danilo 22 of 22 when it comes to passing so far. 13 of 13 in the opposition half. And for a player who might have that job for the next 3 or 4 weeks, that's important. That pass asking a lot.
Yeah, trying to switch the play, but I would still be pushing it towards Marcelo. I think that's where you get so much going forward for Real Madrid. Danilo, I know he's trying to impress, but he doesn't have the same capabilities that Marcelo has in terms of attack.
Hugo Mayo losing possession 9 times. Danilo with 3 tackles and Mayo with 2. Here's Kroos, quickly gets rid of it. Chance for Morata, left foot, blasted up and over as it skims just above the crossbar.
Now
he says it was deflected, but no.
Yes, now we have a centre forward. Phil, this is what you need around the box. Can't always play your way in. Sometimes you need someone who's got a really good strike, finds a little bit of space. Okay, doesn't quite hit the target this time, but big difference. That will start worrying Celta Vigo now.
Collision in the back. Casemiro paying the price, and Pablo Hernandez walking away.
Nothing wrong with that, I don't think, really. He hasn't gone to hit him with his elbow. The elbow just happens to be there. Casemiro making the most of it.
But the pass just behind Diaz. Celta scrambling, starting to fall apart. Vasquez, the shot that just sails high. Second half, much more dominance from Real Madrid, but it's still scoreless.
Got to hit target from there. Really, I mean, you can be harsh, but I always think in those situations, make the goalkeeper work. He might not hold on to it. He might push something out. You might get a tap in, a rebound. But step number 1 is you've got to hit the target.
Virgin Company arguing with Fernandez Borbalon, but won't change things. Looked as though Alcorcón was going to walk away with a scoreless draw in their opener against Alaves until 5 minutes down the stretch. Looked like and Aspas and Ramos getting into it. The assistant referee did not even lift his flag. That call straight from Fernandez Borbalán. There's Bongonda. Strong challenge that knocks it free. Varane. Cross. But it's deflected right to Vasquez. Good hustle by Johnny to win it back for Celta. Things getting a bit stretched here. Casemiro. Advantage was to be played. Pedro Hernandez could not come down with it.
Once again, Casemiro just blocking the flow and going forward. Fantastic. As soon as Real Madrid lose the ball and they're in danger of a counter-attack, there's Casemiro closing them down, tackling, stopping it happen.
And there, the foul. Retaliate first.
Many a coach has said that to us in the locker room.
Hand to face could have been a card. Aspas may be a bit fortunate.
Could have been a card for Sergio Ramos getting in his face in the first place, and bear in mind he's on a yellow already. Needs to be careful.
Substitution of Morata helping Real Madrid to percolate just a bit more, but half hour to go, nothing on the scoreboard. Aspas back, lifted forward nicely by Johnny, but cut off by Ramos. Long legs of Morata. Choppy steps of Cabral. Poor clearance, one right back by Ronaldo, flips it over. Morata might have been offside, but the flag stays down. And out for a throw-in just shy of the flag.
Good opportunity there. There's a combination between Cristiano and the substitute Morata. I think that's a good combination that can unlock this Celta Vigo defensive door.
Aldridge hanging on that line. Strong challenge, Casemiro again. The deflection goes to Aspas. Passing lanes getting tighter and tighter, and the time shorter and shorter. From a Celta perspective, as the ball launched forward, Morata hoping to bring it down. Talked about you don't want to disrupt a team where part of the goal was to walk away with at least a point. But you kind of sense, as you were pointing out in the first half, the tanks are empty.
They've stopped chasing Real Madrid in their half now. They're just sitting more in their own half, Celta Vigo, almost inviting pressure. And that's going to cause them problems as this match moves on.
Clear away from Vas. Again, different look from the Nolito, Aspas, Orellana era. A lot more physical. Vas and Bongonda a lot younger than the players that have left. Vas 27, Bongonda just 21. So graceful. Danilo. Vasquez with two in the middle. Looking early, but well covered. Cleared by Cabral. Near side touch for Celta. Good from Redoya. Hernandez down the line. Can Bongonda keep it in? Forced wide. Now cuts in. Vas on the back post. Deflected. Only as far as Aspas, who buries it. At the Bernabeu, Real Madrid trails on another lightning break from Celta Vigo.
Absolutely brilliant break once again down that left-hand side, and this time they punish Real Madrid. Not so sure about Marcelo's attempted clearance there, but great credit to this team, Celta Vigo. Look at their fans, delighted and not surprised. They were under so much pressure from Real Madrid. Wonderful counter-attack. But I want to just see if Marcelo could have done better here, Phil, in terms of trying. Is it Marcelo? Yes, it is. The back post. Have a look. This ball comes. Why not knock it away? Knock it out for a corner. How come he knocks it back into play?
I think he was maybe afraid of knocking that into his own net, a la Ramos against Sevilla just 3 days ago. But I think he could probably pin a bit of blame on both fullbacks. Danilo doubled down in the midfield and got caught upfield. No chance to catch the speedy Bongonda.
Brilliant.
So quick thinking, good passing, and Aspas on the spot.
And now we have game on, because now Real Madrid really have to put the pressure on. They don't want to go to the away match losing or even drawing, especially with the away goal. So lots of pressure to come from the Whites, I would guess, in the next 25 minutes or so.
Again, at the very least, this is a lifeline. Even if Real Madrid gets a goal, 1-1, even a 2-1 defeat, a positive result with that road goal heading home for the second leg. But if they can walk away with the victory, Real Madrid can certainly score goals in bunches, but it's a good position for Celta. Here's Danilo again. Ronaldo, a sweep of the legs from Cabral. Fans wanted a foul. Referee says no. Back into the middle. And Ronaldo didn't see it coming. Is this a foul? Did seem to get clipped.
And if it's not, then is it a dive? In which case it's a yellow card. Oh, it's all heating up here, Phil. I'm just wondering, are we about to witness the second defeat in a row from a team not beaten in 40 games? That would be a surprise. Yeah, not happy with that from Marcelo. For me, with his left foot, he's got to somehow try and just knock it out for a corner. Play safe. You cannot knock it back into that danger area.
11 goals this season in league. That's his second goal in the Copa del Rey, both coming this month. Valencia the first. As you mentioned, 40 games without defeat. And now could be tasting it twice in a week. Haven't lost 2 in a row since November of 2015. That was against Sevilla and Barcelona.
It's amazing how things can turn in football. A week ago, Zidane couldn't do a thing wrong. Not that he's done anything wrong today, but this is how football can suddenly kick you in the teeth. If you think you're invincible, anything can happen in this game.
Roncaglia coming over. Just a little extras, said the assistant. Smart play by Morata. Sergio Alvarez. 5 saves on the night so far. Cross high, trying to take advantage. Knotted down, but straight to Mayo, who just launches that one towards the stands. But now when you look down the bench, if you're Eduardo Berizzo, do you look towards defensive help to try and plug the gaps, prevent the dam from breaking? Marcelo inside, glances away. Again, Cabral and Roncaglia making sure Ronaldo never sees it.
Yeah, the pressure's going to build from here. I don't think that ball's going to enter the Real Madrid half too many times in the next 20 or so minutes. It's going to be sustained pressure against Celta.
Cross into the middle, loose, missing it. Casemiro gets back to knock it free. Now Danilo off to Modric. Cross again. Celta may be tempting fate, giving Real too much possession deep. He can shoot from here. Aspas back to play defense. Modric sneaks it in over Ronaldo. Met by Marcelo! Oh, what a goal! We're tied!
He's made up for the error at the other end. What a strike. We were saying earlier on what a special player he is in every sense. That is a fantastic strike. But the pressure was building and has been building for some time. Difficult for Celta. Done so well to get themselves in the lead. And now it's back to level. wondering if there might have been a deflection here. Let's have a look. Yes, it's a deflection. I was wondering why Sergio Alvarez didn't get a hand or get close to it. There's a full-on deflection here that flies past him. Nothing you can do. Great strike, Marcelo.
Mayo tried to get it out of the area, went straight to Marcelo. Roncaglia couldn't get out of the way. And now we are level at 1. 1 back, though. Good pressure, straight up the middle. Castro curls it around Kiko. And right back in front. Celta Vigo with a second, just seconds after Real had tied it.
Unbelievable. But this should happen so quickly. Again, question marks at the back there. Varane's asking the same question. Golden rule, when you score, you keep it tight for 5 minutes. You don't give them any chance. They ran straight through the middle there.
Vasquez lost it. And just take a look at this.
Right through the middle. What's between Ramos and Varane? They're looking at each other. One of them's got to pick up that run. It looks like Ramos should have picked it up earlier.
And credit to Celta, throwing everyone into the attack, pushing the left back forward and taking advantage. A bit of a revolution against Real Madrid. And Vasquez is going to be exiting. A good first half and a moment he'll want to forget for his final touch. Mateo Kovacic coming back. A sprained ankle has kept him sidelined, but they have Isco as well, who's coming off of an injury. Zidane realizes he needs something different out there, and blood in the water, though. Celta playing like sharks.
Brilliant counter-attacking by Celta Vigo. We saw it first half. It didn't produce any dividends then. They've managed to soak up most of the pressure, and 2 fantastic counter-attacks, which must worry Real Madrid defense and worry Zidane. It can be so easy to breach that defense, but now it's up to the strikers to try and get them back in the game.
Haven't scored 2 goals against Real Madrid since April of 2015, but that was in a 4-2 defeat. Flipping it in nicely, Morata maintaining possession. Real Madrid needs to rebuild that rhythm. As you pointed out, they were so busy celebrating the stunning equalizer, they forgot the game was still going on, it appeared.
We had a golden rule at Man United. Once you scored, you'd celebrate for a little while, then you'd all look at each other and remind each other to be even more vigilant for the next 5 minutes.
Aldrich was back, denying the run from Hernandez. Will there be a stunner here? Trying to tie it. Modric out for Ronaldo. Curls it around, but Sergio sprawling to his right.
Some tired Celta players. Have a look there. We just moments ago, Zidane trying to get his team pumped up, but we saw the Celta players walking up. They've got a tough 18 or so minutes in which they've got to graft and chase and try and stop Real Madrid from getting back on level terms.
Vision and Ramos maybe letting the red blood get the better of him.
Well, if he does, it'll be a red card that gets the better of him. He's got to be so careful. On a yellow already.
Aspas reaching out, grabbing the side of his head when it seemed he was brushed on the chin, maybe trying to take advantage of Ramos's reputation. First goal of the season for Johnny Castro, and what a time to score it. Scored in last year's cup run against Cadiz. I think this one means a bit more. Made it all the way to the semifinals last year. Vaz doesn't quite dip in time.
This thing is not bad for a defender to push all his way up from that left fullback position to score the goal. It just shows you the effort that Celta Vigo are putting in. A long run for him. If he didn't score, it's a long way to get back.
13 goals in 13 games for Aspas. Castro looking to make it pay. Final 15 minutes. You said, funny old game. It seemed as though when Marcelo scored the equalizer, all was put right in the world. But Celta refusing to quit. And I think that can go back even to the days when Luis Enrique seemed to rekindle the spark of this side from the West Coast. Take another look at Johnny. Took that one like a striker.
He did. Kiko Casilla trying to guess. He went to his right. The ball was put into his left. Maybe if he'd have stood up and not guessed, he might have had a chance. But again, I don't blame the keeper at all. It's that mindset from Real Madrid. When you score, you've got to keep it tight. You've got to G each other up. And they didn't seem to do that. They switched off. You say it's a funny game. They could still win this game, Real Madrid. 15 minutes of high intensive pressure here.
But again, for Celta, 2 road goals. The key is you'd like to try and make sure you don't give up 2 goals here in the final quarter, where a draw would be good enough. Ball in, Sergio back just before Ronaldo. The world flipped back on its ear in less than a minute. Only 58 seconds between the equalizer and the go-ahead goal.
Criminal, isn't it? And it's the same thing in the last match against Sevilla. Last 5 minutes, Real Madrid had switched off, and they've never done this in 40 matches. All of a sudden,
is this an Achilles heel?
Well, hopefully Zidane will sort it out very quickly, but teams ebb and flow. They get tired, they lose focus, they get too successful. Whatever the psychological reasons are, we've seen 2 unlikely errors from Real Madrid in 2 matches.
Carries over to Casemiro, who pushes forward, trying to create an advantage. Ball stays in play, though. The ball bouncing Celta's way of late. Bongonda bounced out of bounds by Danilo. Good work by the former Zultivargan man. Smart play. Either he gets off down the races or forces the foul.
Takes the pressure off, eats up the clock.
And another substitution for Real Madrid. Is it too little too late?
Benz, he can do so much. If you give him service, he can score you the goals. It's some attack now, isn't it? Cristiano, Morata and Benzema. You'd be a bit worried if you were that Celta defense.
All they have to do is hold on for another dozen minutes or so. But on. Chance now, Morata. Ronaldo peels away. Little slip from Mayo, but comes back to recover. Ronaldo. Kroos. Actually, it's Kovacic who's pushed forward. Kroos, up steps Casemiro. He'll take the shot. And again, he scored last week, but I think if Celta Vigo had their druthers, they'd let him take that shot all day.
I'm sure there's been a little look from Cristiano and Morata saying, you know what, Casemiro, stick to defensive duties, just give us the ball.
Little surprise that Berizzo has not looked to the bench. Sergi Gomez, Papdiop, perhaps most impressive available to maybe plug those gaps. Midfield has to be gasping at the moment. Advantage played. Kovacic harassed by Diaz. Rata back to Ronaldo, wide for Marcelo. Dizzying effort here from Real Madrid, and stepping back into his own goal, but keeping the ball on the right side of the line, Sergio.
Yeah, goalkeeper was good there. It doesn't matter where your feet go, as long as the ball doesn't cross the line.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Again, only 5'10". You got to be creative sometimes when you don't have the height.
Well, he's looking at Benzema coming on and thinking, any high balls now? Morata, Cristiano, Benzema.
And don't be surprised if Ramos pushes up.
Yeah. Celta have done so well. Even if things go pear-shaped from here, they have done so brilliantly well to be 2-1 up at
we're
this
going
stage.
3 in the back again. Although this just for the final 10 minutes. Danilo will exit. Good first half. Caught napping on the opener. Benzema, 3 in the back, he says. Up for Morata. All the way across. Celta can't afford just to give possession up cheaply. Need to find a way to bleed the clock a bit.
Fresh legs make a big difference there from Kovacic. Cristiano's been so quiet in this match. He really hasn't been able to make much of an impact so far.
Lifted in behind Benzema. Blasted low, Marcelo again, but parried away to safety. And it will be a corner off the boot of Roncaglia.
That's a right foot shot from Marcelo. Didn't know he could shoot with that right foot.
All in, headed wide, and no one there to tap it home.
Yeah, big Varane on the end of it. This is so many good headers of the ball now in that box for Real Madrid. Just needed to come off at a different angle. Cristiano was far post, Benz was in the middle. That's what they need to do, Phil. Keep knocking that ball into the box, keep putting that Celta defense under pressure.
As you see, change with fresh legs ready to come in. And it will be the goal scorer, Iago Aspas, the icon of this Celta side. So red hot before he went to Liverpool, cooled off, but immediately rekindled when he head home.
Brilliant finish. Right down the middle, because keepers tend to go left or right and try and guess right down the middle. But again, I don't think Marcelo's going to be happy with his part in that goal.
Mentioned Sergio Gomez on that back line. Again, Diop available in the midfield if they wish. They did also pick up Josabed, more of an attacking option from Fulham on loan, the former Rayo midfielder, but he'll be on loan till the end of the season. Giuseppe Rossi, kid from Teaneck, also available, maybe coming on to keep Real honest later. Burst of speed, Kovacic sneaks it in behind Benzema, deflected. Kovacic keeps it alive. Marcelo brings it down. Lifted in, Ramos, cleared away, Cabral. Trying to push that line up outside the 18 to keep Real Madrid from getting too comfortable. All the way across, headed down, Morata, slapped free, and from point-blank range, Benzema can't find the net.
That's a bad miss. That's what they've been looking for. The big ball in the box, knocked back. Oh, come on, Benz. Player of that ability, you've got to hit target. I understand if the keeper makes a save, but to miss target from all of 8-10 yards out, that's poor play. He knows it. Doesn't need to go high in that situation, just keep it low.
He got the chance. Morata, the other substitute, helped create it. Vaz flipping it on. Offside against Mongonda. Looks like he's slid into that more central role with Aspas out. Maybe even as a time-wasting option. Still a sub left for Berizzo. Marcelo trying to burst around the corner. What a tackle by Hugo Mayo. Said he'd be one to watch, and he saved it for late. Nice from Vaz, but better from Ramos. Knocked free, advantage. Back from Benzema, Modric. Casemiro outside of the boot for Ronaldo, and out comes Sergio. Just in time.
Sergio, yeah, good collection there from the keeper. Frustrating day for Ronaldo. He hasn't got on the end of anything yet. He really is battling to make an impact. And Celta are playing out of their skins. What a performance by them defensively in terms of the work ethic. They have been absolutely brilliant. Took their chances when they came. Wow. Not much more you can say about them, Phil. This is a wonderful, wonderful performance. Yes, Real Madrid have stuttered and spluttered here and there, but I think huge credit to Celta Vigo.
Sergio again. You know how hard that is to be coming back, retreating, block the post in time, then have to sprint out to slap the header away. Might not have all the physical tools, but he's got some gifts.
He's had a very, very good game. They all have in defense for Celta Vigo. But there's still 5 minutes left. You don't want to spoil it now by switching off or making some bad error.
18 shots to 4. Just 1 goal off those 18 shots for Real Madrid. Possession better than 2/3 for the home side. And here is Diop. One-man destroyer. Probably pull out an attacker, maybe Bongonda himself or Vaz. That could keep you toothless and really nothing for Real Madrid to worry about also. Celta maintaining possession in the Real Madrid end, then retreating. Final 5 minutes of regulation underway. Galia tried to get too tricky. Modric gets it back right in the middle. Morata denied. Good hustle. I think it was Hernandez coming back. That's the footwork. And actually, it might be Gomez who stepped into a midfield role in front of the back two. And it is Bongonda who will exit.
He's done well. His pace down the left has caused problems time and time again for Real Madrid. He really has been a huge threat. But this is amazing, Phil. I mean, if I'd have said to you a week ago Real Madrid will lose 2 on the trot, having gone 40 matches unbeaten, you'd have said never. I would have said never.
And you would have thought it might have been the 2 matches against Sevilla. But Celta doing well as Pione Sisto is checked in. Another winger, fresh legs. Ex-Midtjylland Danish international, Uganda born. And I think, again, you see him keeping a close eye on Modric, who's trying to get lost on this right flank. Varane. Kroos. Samiro. Marcelo. Mayo showing respect. They've drawn Cabral out, lifted in, but off target. And again, Sergio will take his sweet time getting this one back in play.
Frustration there all around at Real Madrid. They haven't been able to get that service to Cristiano, or he hasn't been in the right place, one of the two. Morata as well. Yeah, fully understand their feelings. It's been a fantastic performance by Celta Vigo.
Huge performance as well for Eduardo Berizzo after the situation, the confrontation with the star Fabian Orellana hitting the headlines.
Yep,
to get his team to play like this.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I think it's important for managers to have that discipline, to put players in their place when necessary.
Offside.
It builds up respect, and sometimes a bit of a battle like that just G's everybody up. It keeps everyone on their toes. I know some managers who look to create issues just to keep the managers going.
On Guidetti will be the last one, so Giuseppe Rossi will have to wait. Guidetti, big tower of power and more physical presence on that front line. And it will be the far side attacker Daniel Vaz who will exit. Guidetti, the 24-year-old Swede.
He's getting a ticking off from every Real Madrid player for not running off, for walking and wasting time. Football's a funny game. 40 matches unbeaten. The comeback against Sevilla, 3-3 bends in the last minute. It just made you think they were untouchable. The next 2 games, well, they lose the one against Sevilla and on the verge of losing this one. Would never have expected this one.
And again, if you're going to lose 2 in a row, these 2 don't necessarily hurt you. Sure, it ended the record run, but they still have a game in hand and relatively comfortable atop the La Liga standings. And here in the Cup, they'll have a second leg.
Absolutely. The sort of second leg makes it not the end of the world, but there must be a psychological shift in the locker room where you go, something's changed, guys. We were invincible, now we're not. We need to get back to winning ways. What are we doing wrong? And they've worked hard, Real Madrid. You can't say they haven't put in an effort. They just haven't got on the end of things.
Licked up in the air. Varane forced to retreat. Here is Guidetti. Little drag to draw free, and he's got some help. Keep an eye on the near side from Sisto if they can spot him. Back comes Kovacic to defend. Long ball forward, looking for Uganda native. Parents from South Sudan. Through Uganda, where he was born, and then moved to Denmark in refugee status. And Sisto taking advantage of it, and now looking to take advantage of Real Madrid. You pointed out that next match against Malaga becomes even more important. They need to stop the bleeding.
They certainly do. They need to get in that locker room and try and figure out what's gone wrong and how to put it right. But what it does do, it sets up the second leg against Celta for a great game. I mean, if they can go into this next Wednesday. Wow, Celta 1 up at home.
And as the former DC United midfielder, bleeding a little more off the clock. Might be on the sideline playing cheerleader. Iago Aspas involved in more goals than any Spaniard, with 15 and 5 assists this season. Here's Guidetti. Surrendering the body a bit, but maybe surrendering the ball a little too easily. Launched forward for Ronaldo, who gives chase. Back to Sergio. Less than 2 minutes remain. Few whistles in the stands. No white towels, though, but this is not what the fans signed up for today.
It'd be a bit much to have the white towels after a 40-match unbeaten run. Once again, here they come.
They are demanding, though. Guidetti just pulls it away from Casemiro. Tries to tuck it in for Sisto, but nice from Varane. Lowers the boom, though, does the big Swede. Casemiro doesn't have time to argue. They need to get this downfield.
I'm not so sure it's gone the right way there. I thought that was maybe a foul against Guidetti, but anyway, it's given to Real Madrid.
Aldo back, final minute approaches. Good step up, Castro. He's the hero. Sisto looking for a burst of speed. Put the brakes on and draws the foul. Smart play by the substitute, and Morata losing his cool.
Intelligent play because you're tempting them to bring you down, and Morata should have been a little bit cleverer there, just held him up, because now more time's wasted, and not just time, it's the flow of the game that gets broken.
Sisto back in the inside. Guidetti plays it square. Chance for Diaz. Looking into the middle for Guidetti, but deflected by Marcelo and out. Mayo might be regretting it, but that might be enough to kill this game off. Corner kick as we tick to the 94th minute. And it stunning these last 4 days for Real Madrid. From the corner, Celta playing out the string. And it is over. A shocking result as Celta comes into the Bernabeu and grabs only their second win in Copa del Rey play against Real Madrid.
Real shock, but well done, Celta Vigo. Absolutely brilliant to go to the Bernabeu and get this result.
6 straight cup wins for Real against Celta comes to an end here.